Our reading today is from Matthew 13, 10 through 17. Hear Jesus in this reading talk about the power of storytelling. The disciples came up to Jesus and asked, "Why do you tell stories?" He replied, "You've been given insight into God's kingdom. You know how it works. Not everybody has this gift, this insight. It hasn't been given to them. Whenever somebody has a ready heart for this, the insights and understandings flow freely. But if there is no readiness, any trace of receptivity soon disappears. That's why I tell stories. To create readiness, to nudge the people toward a welcome awakening. In their present state, they can stare till doomsday and not see it. Listen till they're blue in the face and not get it. I don't want Isaiah's forecast repeated all over again. Your ears are open, but you don't hear a thing. Your eyes are awake, but you don't see a thing. The people are stupid. They stick their fingers in their ears so they don't have to listen. They screw their eyes shut so they won't have to look. So they don't have to deal with me face to face and let me heal them. But you have God-blessed eyes, eyes that see, and God-blessed ears, ears that hear. A lot of people, prophets and humble believers among them, would have given anything to see what you are seeing, to hear what you are hearing, but they never had the chance.
Thank you, Linda. I don't know what that means. Hey, I want to say, back on the band thing for a sec before I get into this short sermon. I was waiting for a round of applause there. Short sermon. Thank you. I just, it dawns on me we have a band member in the back. Sophie's in the band, right? Is it? Yeah. And Dunedin Band. And these band kids, I tell you, we watched how many bands come through? 100. We probably saw 90 of them just watching. And these kids give so much. I mean, it's amazing, the music programs that these high schools have. So from the smallest one was 14 kids at Nationals. 14 kids. So they had 12 band members and 2 guard. And they were there at Nationals. I mean, they went up against these 450. It didn't matter. They were just there having the experience. And music is just amazing. I'll say it over and over again, but these kids, from Dunedin to Tarpon to all over the place. Marjorie Stoneman was there. They give so much, and they pour their hearts and their lives into this, and it's really amazing. So let's give all our band kids a round of applause, especially those in this room. Maybe someday Dunedin will take that step and say, we're going to Nationals. We'll see. That would be so awesome. We'll celebrate the heck out of it here. Anyway, I don't believe people are looking for the meaning of life as much as they are looking for the experience of being alive, said the great mythologist Joseph Campbell in the series The Power of Myth. I'm going to say that again. I don't believe people are looking for the meaning of life as much as they are looking for the experience of being alive. Those words have been on my mind as of late, as the Thursday night spiritual theology group has been reading that awesome book by Joseph Campbell and Bill Moyers called The Power of Myth, and we've all been taking so much from it, especially for me when it comes to this notion of the power of storytelling. I've been thinking about Campbell's views on the human importance of storytelling. I've been enamored with a few shows. I put them up on the screen of my own lately. A couple others that didn't even make the cut up there, but Cobra Kai. Oh, Cobra Kai's awesome, isn't it? Storytelling at its finest. The Queen's Gambit. Who's seen The Queen's Gambit? Oh, that is storytelling at its finest. How about The Orville? Anyone seen The Orville? Wendy, I know you and I are hooked on that one. It's a Star Trek-like comedy. These are just to name a few, and I can't wait to see Wakanda Forever. That is right at the top of my list. Maybe I'll try and squeeze it in here this week. Are there any others out there you're hooked on? Any other series?
The entire MCU.
The what?
The entire MCU.
Oh, Lost.
No. Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, Marvel.
All those movies.
All those movies. Any others that you're into right now? The Crown. Anybody watching The Crown? Oh yeah. There's just so much. I've been reflecting on how much time we give to these kind of stories. I mean, it's amazing. A series, or it could be movies, or it could be books, all of it. We pay so much hard-earned money to subscription services for stories, don't we? I have like 6 subscription services. I can't even keep track anymore. All I know is my wife's like, will you cancel that one? I'm like, what, there's a series coming up, you know? It's $4.99 for God's sakes. That's like a mocha, you know? I'll give up one mocha this month to keep Disney. So we pay so much money for these subscription services. We order books on Amazon, or we check them out from the library to enter a story. We pay massive amounts of money to go to theme parks, right? To enter these stories. Disney, Universal Studios, just to name a few. Thousands of dollars just to go stand in a castle. Think about it. What is it now for a family of 4 to go to Disneyland? Is it like $40,000? Like 4 days at Disney for like $40,000? But we do it. We pay it, right? We pay it. All to enter and live a story and perhaps discover, as Campbell said, that we're not looking for the meaning of life, but we're looking for the experience of being alive. I know that's how it is for me when I fly off to faraway galaxies in the Orville series. I can't get enough. Orville, take me away. I love those stories. I'm sharing all of this today because we are in Stewardship Month here at Faith UCC. We are living into a story of our own right here at the Faith UCC Castle. Or what was it called? Fancy Pants Stadium? When the thing went crazy and they called Fancy Pants Stadium is what they called us here. And our story is one of a place where it's a great story. Our story is one of where evil is vanquished by courage, injustice is conquered by a spirit of love, hope smashes despair, mysticism is brought to life. We're a mythical place where oppression finds an army full of heroes and heroines, confident that we will be victorious, and where fairy tale-like beauty finds expression in our modern-day Garden of Eden, right out there in the butterfly garden, right? Okay, that was a bit dramatic, I know. I couldn't help myself. But I was thinking of our story in relation to other stories, thinking of how they make us feel, how they give us purpose, how they help us to see the realities in the world that maybe sometimes we just would rather not see, and finally how they give us examples and courage to keep up the fight even when the odds seem stacked against us. They remind us all too often that evil can be conquered by love that has fertile ground to grow. And that's exactly what we do here. Exactly what we do here. We are living a great story here under the title of Faith United Church of Christ. It's a story that stands in the line of a great tradition that recognizes at the heart of it a wise teacher. We call him the Christ. We call him Jesus, not just a man or a human being, but an expression of God's love made real in space and time, who rose up amidst the oppression of an empire to say a resounding no way to evil, and to violence, and to inequality, and to exclusion, and to despair. In our story, this man was silenced. He was killed at the hands of the empire and its violence, but his followers, women and men, a diverse chorus of love, well, they experienced his presence anew in some powerful way, and it made them risk that same cruel, awful death to keep his way going. A small light then flickered in those ancient hills of Palestine long ago, and it kept growing into this flame, a little larger through the centuries. Like the light from an Olympic torch that has traveled over the mountains and through the plains and across the oceans, and that same light still, it rests right here. This little piece of property on Pinehurst Road in Dunedin. In the story of this church that's picked up the light and holds it ablaze for all to see. Light that becomes manifest in rainbow banners or other signs and murals of hope, yearnings for equality and fairness, people loving one another, strangers becoming friends. That's what that light does now. That's what it illuminates. You see, that is what dawned on me as I thought of all those other stories that people give so much to experience. We offer the same right here. I mean, not all great stories play out on theme park rides and extravagant sets. Some of the greatest of all stories play out in, two people sitting in a garden, getting to know one another. Or in a spiritual study group with people building relationship through discussing some book. In a Life is Life support group with times of life-giving listening, just presence. Or when the greatest choir in the world gathers to practice and sings in community. And some of the most powerful stories, like so many that happen here, never even see the light of day. Rather, they happen with someone knitting a prayer bear that will journey with a sister or brothers into a time of their death journey. It'll happen on a late-night phone call when the times are tough and someone's in deep trouble. They happen when a person is praying for the needs of another who has hit a rough patch or is maybe going in for a surgery soon. They happen when somebody tenderly coaxes and guides a garden to incredible beauty, quietly does that. Or others plant trees or work in gardens to provide food for a community. But great stories happen all the time. They happen for the world to see and experience, and they happen in the silence and the shadows. They happen in the good times and in the not-so-good times. But they all merge together to make what we do here one of the greatest stories ever told, because it is alive, it is filled with hope, is buoyed by courage, it's cloaked in love. In our story, there are many heroes and heroines, and they're all of you. You are the heroes. You are the heroines. And together, we are the author. We're the J.K. Rowlings of how our story unfolds. Other stories with their big, expensive theme parks or show prices, well, let's let them offer the thrills and the bells and the whistles. Let's let them take us to galaxies far, far away and magical kingdoms to excite our imagination. But then let's tailor our story, the one we're writing together. Let's tailor our story to be the one that will actually change the world. Change lives. And keep the dream of God that was breathed into the heart of that guy, that Jesus, so long ago alive and well. So my friends, if you have been looking for a great story to invest in, it's right here. It's us. It's Faith UCC. A great story. I invite you to consider a pledge if you haven't. Increase the pledge if you can. Find a way to be a regular giver to the story of both your time and your talent. For our story is best when it is written and supported together. Our story is best when we can live out our destiny to be the heroes and heroines that God has called us to be together. A hero or a heroine with 1,000 faces. Okay, maybe 200 faces, as Joseph Campbell would put it. So let's write our story together. Let's write this story together. For God knows the world needs a story like we have been busy writing here, right? So let's write it together. So I invite you to consider a pledge if you haven't done so. Increase the pledge if you can. And we'll keep writing this story into a beautiful, beautiful future of inclusion, of welcome, radical welcome. The day and age when places are shutting their doors, to people, keeping people out for whatever reason, we're never going to be that. So let's keep writing that story. And in all seriousness, please, go watch The Orville. You will love it. Amen.